Wait, don't text her. Seriously, don't. Not yet. Not until you understand what's actually happening when you hit send. Because here's the raw truth most guys never hear. Texting her too soon or too often kills your chances before they even begin. Sounds extreme? Maybe. But it's facts. You see, we live in a time where most men think that more communication equals more connection. That if you just show her you care, keep the conversation going, check in, and show consistency, she'll magically fall for you. But here's what no one tells you. She already knows you're interested. That's not the problem. The problem is she's not thinking about you and your constant texts. They're not pulling her closer. They're making her comfortable. Too comfortable. Comfortable enough to stop chasing. Comfortable enough to start ignoring. Because here's how female psychology works. Desire needs space. It needs a bit of uncertainty. And the second you're always available, always texting first, always making it easy, she knows she has you. Game over. And let's be brutally honest here. If she was the one who was always texting you, always checking in, always available, would you value her the same way? Probably not. You'd lose interest. You'd pull away. So why do you think it's any different for her? This video is not about playing games. It's about understanding psychological leverage. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't chase with his phone. Because he doesn't need to. So if you've ever been ghosted, ignored, breadcrumbed, or left on read, if you've ever wondered, what did I do wrong? I thought we had something. This video is your wake-up call. Before you send that next message, watch this all the way through. Because once you understand what's really going on beneath the surface, you'll never text the same way again. 1. Texting first equals sign. Losing first. Let's get one thing straight. When you're always the one texting first, you're putting yourself in the weaker position. It doesn't matter how smooth your message is or how good your intentions are. If you're always the one reaching out, she sees it. And she starts to feel one thing: power. Now, don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with texting a girl you're interested in. But when you're always initiating the conversation, you're unconsciously signaling that you're more invested than she is, and that instantly shifts the balance. Here's the ugly truth most men ignore. The person who cares less always has the power. And texting first all the time tells her, without saying a word, I care more. That kills mystery. It kills the chase. And most importantly, it kills her desire. Now, imagine this. A guy meets a girl at a party. They hit it off. She gives him her number. He's hyped. He waits a few hours, then sends a text. Hey, it was great meeting you. She replies. They chat. The next day, he texts again. Then the day after that, again. She responds, but her replies are shorter now. Less energy, less interest. Until finally, she just stops replying. He's confused. What happened? We had chemistry. No, bro. You were just too predictable, too eager. You didn't give her time to miss you. She never got the chance to wonder, is he thinking about me? Because you were always right there in her phone, ready, available. And guess what? When she never has to wonder about you, she never has to value you. If you're always the one chasing, she's never the one choosing. So stop texting first all the time. Pause. Let her come to you. Let her feel that space. That's where attraction builds. Trust this. If she's into you, she'll reach out. If she doesn't, you were only an option anyway, too. She's addicted to uncertainty. Here's something that might sound crazy at first, but it's 100% true. Women don't fall for the guy who gives them constant clarity. They fall for the guy who gives them uncertainty. Not chaos, not drama, but just enough unpredictability to make her wonder, what's he thinking? Does he like me? Why hasn't he texted yet? That question right there, that confusion, is where her feelings start to grow. See, women are emotional creatures. Their attraction isn't built through logic, it's built through feeling. And one of the most powerful emotions that keeps her hooked is curiosity. When she doesn't know where she stands with you, her brain works overtime trying to figure you out. And that's addictive. Now, think about the opposite for a second. The guy who's always available, always texting, always giving her compliments, always making sure she knows exactly how he feels. She doesn't have to guess anything. She doesn't have to feel anything. Because the mystery is gone. The excitement is dead. Let's put this in a real-life situation. A woman meets two guys at different times. Guy hash one, funny, polite, texts her every morning, replies fast, constant compliments, makes it known she's his dream girl. Guy hash two, same charm, same attraction. But after they talk, he disappears for a while. He might reply hours later. Sometimes he likes her stories, sometimes he doesn't. He's not rude, he's just hard to read. Which guy do you think she'll think about more? Guy hash two, every time. Not because he's better looking, but because he's a puzzle, and that mystery keeps her attention locked in. Uncertainty is tension, and tension is attraction. So if you're always being the nice guy who makes everything easy and clear, don't be surprised when she gets bored, fast. Let her wonder. Let her feel unsure. Let her chase the emotional high of figuring you out. That's what keeps you in her mind, because if she's not confused, she's not interested. 3. Good morning texts kill attraction. Let's be honest, you probably think sending a good morning text is cute, thoughtful, and shows her you care. But here's the brutal truth. It doesn't make her like you more. It makes her feel like she already has you. And once she feels that, the attraction starts to fade. Now, ask yourself this. When was the last time you were excited about something you were totally sure you had? Probably never. The second something becomes routine, predictable, or guaranteed, it loses value. And that's exactly what's happening when you send that good morning message every single day. It tells her she's the first thing on your mind, that your emotions are already invested, that she's your priority. But here's the uncomfortable truth. A woman is not attracted to a man who centers his life around her, especially if that connection isn't fully established yet. Women are drawn to men who have things going on, men who are focused, busy, and not emotionally available at the snap of a finger. So when you're waking up every day and the first thing you're doing is sending her a sweet little message, what does that tell her? It tells her you have nothing more important to do. It tells her you're waiting on her to make you feel good. It tells her you're not the one in control. Now, sure, she might respond with a heart emoji or say, "aw," and that might give you a quick little dopamine hit. But deep down, it's doing the opposite of what you want, because it removes the challenge. And once the challenge is gone, so is the attraction. Here's the thing. Women aren't sitting there wishing for a man who texts them every morning. They're dreaming of a man who makes them wonder if they're on his mind. A man who's focused on his mission, not glued to his phone. That's what keeps her attention. That's what makes her chase. So stop being the good morning guy. Stop giving her that daily dose of comfort. Because she doesn't want comfort. She wants emotional stimulation, and that comes from the unknown, not the expected. 4. Attention is her drug. Don't be the dealer. Let's cut the nonsense. Most men today are handing out their attention like it's free candy. And women? They're taking it, but not respecting it. Here's the reality most guys don't want to face. The more attention you give a woman without her earning it, the less she values it. You think you're being nice. You think you're building connection. What you're actually doing is feeding a system that doesn't reward you back. Let's break it down. Women crave attention like a drug, not because they're evil or manipulative, but because they're wired that way. Social validation is emotional currency, and if you're always watching her stories, liking her posts, replying to everything she says, complimenting her, you've become her supplier, not her man, not her lover, not her priority, just the guy she turns to when she's bored and needs that little ego boost. And guess what? She's not thinking about you when you're not around. She's thinking about herself. And you're stuck thinking about her. This is where you need to wake up. Because it's not her fault. It's yours. You're giving away something that should be earned. Your attention is supposed to be powerful. It's supposed to mean something, not something she can get just by existing. Think about it. How can she desire you if she doesn't even have to try? Where's the chase? Where's the tension? It's gone because you killed it. You gave her what she wanted before she even knew if she wanted you. So here's your wake-up call. Stop being the dealer. Cut the supply. Your attention should be like gold, rare, valuable, and not for everyone. Let her wonder why you haven't liked her last 3 selfies. Let her question why your name isn't popping up in her notifications. Let her feel the loss of your energy. Because when a woman doesn't get the attention she's used to, she starts to chase it. And that's when the game changes. That's when she starts valuing you. But it only happens when you stop giving her what she hasn't earned. 5. Texting kills mystery. Here's what most men don't get. The more you text her, the less she thinks about you. Every message you send removes a piece of the mystery. And when there's no mystery, there's no desire. Attraction is not just about looks or status. It's about emotional tension. That tension builds when she's wondering what you're doing, who you're with, or why you haven't reached out yet. But every time you start that good convo over text, you're giving her exactly what her curiosity was dying for. And now it dies too. See, when a woman doesn't hear from you, her imagination takes over. And guess what? Her imagination is way more powerful than your words. She starts creating her own story. Is he talking to someone else? Is he busy? Is he losing interest? And that emotional storm, that's where real feelings start growing. But when you're always available on text, always replying, always initiating, you kill that process. You give her no reason to wonder about you. She already knows what you're up to. You've removed all suspense. And men do this because they think more communication equals stronger connection. Wrong. More access equals less value. Let's be honest. How many times have you texted a girl all day, only to feel like she got bored of you by the end of the week? Exactly. That's what happens when there's no mystery left to explore. Texting is a tool, not your relationship. Use it with intention, not desperation. If you're constantly sending messages to keep her attention, you've already lost frame. Because here's the truth. If you're on her phone too much, you're not on her mind enough. A man who understands his worth doesn't overcommunicate. He lets silence speak for him. He creates space for her to miss him. So stop using texting to prove your value. Stop trying to maintain attraction with daily chats. Let the mystery work for you, because when she doesn't know what's going on with you, she starts wanting to find out. And that is how you stay on her mind without saying a word. 6. Less is more. Stop overpursuing. It's time to wake up to something most men refuse to admit. Overpursuing her makes you weak. The more you chase, the less she values you. It's that simple. And you might be thinking, but I'm just showing interest. Yeah, well, there's a difference between showing interest and needing her to like you. When you're constantly texting, calling, initiating plans, you're putting her on a pedestal without even realizing it. And the higher you place her, the further away she moves. Women are attracted to men who have their own life, their own purpose, and their own value. Men who are busy, who are focused on their goals, who don't need external validation to feel important. But when you're chasing her every move, trying to make sure she's always happy, you lose your own power in the process. Overpursuit comes from insecurity. It's the feeling that if you don't chase her, you'll lose her. But guess what? If you're constantly chasing, you'll only push her away. Because when you overgive your attention, you're sending the message that you're willing to settle for crumbs. And that doesn't inspire respect or attraction. It just makes you seem desperate. Here's the hard truth. You don't need to chase her to get her to want you. The best way to get her interested is to give her room to chase you. It's like this. If she's not invested, you should not be doing the heavy lifting. Men who are genuinely respected and desired don't chase after approval. They make women come to them. When you're always reaching out, over-complimenting, planning every date, you're making her feel like she's got all the control. And no woman wants to be the one in control all the time. It's not sexy. It's not attractive. You have to understand your value. You have to believe you are worthy of her attention, not just her casual affection. And once you do that, you'll stop overpursuing and start letting her come to you. Because here's the kicker. When you don't chase her, she'll chase you. Stop overpursuing. Let her see you're a man who values his time. A man who isn't desperate for attention. Let her do the chasing for once. Trust me, it works. 7. Stop complimenting her all the time. Let's get real for a moment. Constant compliments make you look weak. Compliments are great when they're genuine, but when you're tossing them out like candy at every chance, you're actually devaluing them. And worse, you're making her feel like she's already got you wrapped around her finger. Here's the thing. Women are used to getting compliments. And when you're telling her how beautiful she is, every time you talk to her, she stops feeling special. It becomes background noise. It doesn't hit her the way it would if you only complimented her when it actually meant something. Complimenting her too much makes it feel like you're only noticing her surface-level qualities. The things that are easy to compliment, her looks, her clothes, her smile. But real attraction comes from valuing her deeper qualities. Compliment her intelligence, her wit, her passion. Compliment her sense of humor, her ambition, her drive. But make sure it's earned, not just given out to fill the silence or get her attention. When you're constantly feeding her ego with compliments, you make it clear that you're focused on how she makes you feel, and not how she makes you think. And you need to flip the script. Instead of complimenting her non-stop, make her wonder if you like her. Let her earn the praise. Let her work for it. Compliment her on things that show you're paying attention, not just throwing words her way to keep her around. Because when you hold back, when you don't flood her with praise, she starts to value it more when it comes. Think about it. If you give her everything up front, there's no need for her to chase you. She knows she's got you. But if you keep a little distance, if you're not constantly laying it on thick, she'll wonder if you actually like her as much as she thought. That mystery? That's where the attraction builds. Stop complimenting her like it's your job. Start holding back and let her see what it feels like to earn your admiration. Because when she works for it, she'll want it more. 8. Don't be her emotional support pet. Let's face it, most men are way too eager to be her emotional cushion. You know the type, the guy who's always there when she's having a bad day, dropping everything to listen to her vent, acting like her therapist. But here's the problem. You're not her emotional support dog. You're not supposed to be there to just absorb her problems and make her feel better. Men who constantly play the role of the emotional rock end up being seen as soft and unappealing. It's exhausting, and it doesn't inspire attraction. All you're doing is positioning yourself as the guy who's always available to listen, and that's it. Let's get one thing straight. Women don't fall for men who are just nice to them. They fall for men who challenge them, keep them on their toes, and make them feel emotionally uncertain in a way that inspires desire. But when you're too focused on fixing her problems and constantly being the emotional crutch, you strip away the spark. You become predictable, and more importantly, you make her think she doesn't have to do anything to keep your attention. Stop trying to be her therapist. She doesn't need another guy to unload on, and you don't need to be the one to fix it. In fact, if you keep doing this, you're teaching her to rely on you without ever needing to invest emotionally. Here's the truth. Emotions are her domain, not yours. If you're constantly jumping in to save the day, you're not letting her manage her own feelings. Instead, you're creating an imbalance, one where you're the caretaker and she's the princess. That's not how attraction works. Instead of always being there to comfort her, start pulling back. Let her deal with her own emotional baggage sometimes. Let her feel that distance. And when she sees that you're not just a shoulder to cry on, that's when she'll start seeing you as more than just a safety net. You're a man with your own life, your own goals, your own purpose. And when you live that way, women respect you more. They'll want to chase you because you're not just there to fill a gap in their emotional world. So stop being her emotional support pet. Show her you're a man who has standards, a man who's not just here to absorb her problems. Be the challenge. Be the one she has to fight for. 9. Don't get stuck in the friend zone. Here's the cold hard truth. If you're always playing the nice guy role, you're probably in the friend zone. And guess what? The longer you stay there, the harder it is to escape. You know how it goes. You're there for her when she needs someone to talk to. You listen to her vent about her problems. You hang out with her regularly. But you never make any moves. And here's where you've gone wrong. You've convinced yourself that just being her friend is enough to get her to fall for you. Newsflash. It's not. You're not going to get her to see you as anything more than a friend if you never show her that side of you. The side that's assertive. The side that's romantic. The side that takes the lead and shows her you're not just another guy in her friend circle. You've probably heard this a million times, but it's true. Women are attracted to men who lead. Men who aren't afraid to take action, set boundaries, and show that they're the ones calling the shots in their lives. If you're just nice and constantly around to be there for her, you're simply not standing out. You've blended in with all her other guy friends. You've made yourself so available that she sees you as safe, and that's exactly what you don't want. Being in the friend zone isn't about being a good guy. It's about being a guy who doesn't know how to lead the relationship. If you're afraid to make a move, afraid to show you want more, afraid to risk rejection, you're sealing your fate as just friends. And let's be honest, you're not getting any benefits from that role. Instead of always being there as the reliable friend, start creating attraction. Take some risks. Make it clear that you're interested in more than just friendship. Show her that you're confident in your intentions. If she's not interested, fine. But if she is, that's when you step out of the friend zone and into something real. You can't wait around hoping she'll suddenly see you as more. You have to make her see you as the guy, not just a buddy. Take action. Stop being her emotional support system without asking for anything in return. And whatever you do, don't get stuck in the friend zone. 10. Be confident. Don't be afraid to walk away. Here's the final piece of advice you need to hear. Confidence is king, and part of that confidence is knowing when to walk away. Most men fail to realize this, and it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make when dealing with women. If you're not willing to walk away, you're not showing any real strength. You're showing desperation. Listen carefully. You can't make her want you if you're always available. You're not doing yourself any favors by constantly chasing her or sticking around when she's not showing interest. In fact, you're only lowering your value in her eyes. If you're not willing to walk away when she's not treating you right, you're teaching her that you'll accept whatever she gives you, no matter how little. Walking away is a powerful move. It shows that you're not afraid to lose her. Because the truth is, you're not afraid to lose her. You have your own life, your own worth. And if she's not on board with that, it's her loss. But if you cling to her, if you keep chasing her no matter how little she gives back, you're telling her that you're not good enough for someone who respects you. You need to stop fearing rejection. Stop fearing that you'll never find someone else. Because here's the reality. If you don't walk away when necessary, you'll keep wasting your time on women who aren't worth it. Here's a tip that will change everything. Never let her think you need her. A woman can sense neediness from a mile away. It makes you appear weak. But when you're willing to walk away, you send a message. I don't need you. I'm just fine on my own. And that's what makes you attractive. When she knows that you're a man who values himself enough to leave, if she's not treating you right, she'll respect you more. She'll start seeing you as a challenge. And challenges are what keep women hooked. So, next time you're faced with the decision to keep chasing or walk away, choose to walk away. It's not weakness, it's strength. When you walk away, you show her that you won't settle. And when you show her that, you'll be the one she can't stop thinking about. Confidence isn't about staying. It's about knowing when to leave. To wrap this up, here's the truth that no one wants to hear. If you're not willing to walk away, you'll never truly understand your worth. You'll keep chasing, keep hoping, keep settling for scraps when you deserve the whole damn meal. And here's the kicker. Women don't want the guy who's always available, always chasing. They want the guy who's willing to leave and not look back. It's a tough pill to swallow, but that's the reality. The minute you stop needing her and start wanting her, you flip the script completely. It's not about playing games. It's about respecting yourself enough to not tolerate being second best. So, I want to hear from you. Have you been stuck in that cycle of chasing, trying to please her, always being the one to make the effort? Or have you learned to walk away when it wasn't working? Drop a comment below sharing your experiences. I'm here to connect with you, to hear your story, and to help you break free from the mindset that keeps you stuck in the friend zone or chasing someone who isn't investing in you. I'll reach out to you personally. Let's talk and help each other level up. Stay strong, stay confident, and remember, you are the prize.